Hello, Mr. Clark. How are you today?
I'm fine.
I have a few questions to ask you about J8. What inspired you to start J8?
I didn't really start J8, it was the pupils who started J8 really. We put them in for a competition about global issues a long time ago, about 10 years ago now. And they didn't know anything about global issues, so they didn't win the competition, but they quite enjoyed learning about it and they wanted to know a little bit more because in school they didn't do much about global issues at the time. And so they set up their own group, the J8 group, because that was the name of the competition that they went in for. And so they started it and they fine-tuned it ever since, so that it's now focusing on barriers to education and how to solve those.
Alright. How did you choose the linked countries or the skills?
Well, we try to get schools in different countries if we can, so that they're not just always got email and internet and can communicate with us. As long as we've got that, we're happy to go ahead and have a link with them.
Did you personally choose the countries, or did the pupils who came to you to set up choose them?
I think it was pretty well me that set them all up, yes.
How did you promote J8 to the pupils and the schools in other countries?
I don't think I did it. Again, I think it was the pupils who did that. Because the first set of pupils who started J8 then did a presentation to the next year group down and asked whether anyone would be interested in joining. And then that year group did a presentation to the year group below. And I think that went on for 2 or 3 years. And by that time, it seemed to be pretty well known, J8. And every time a group does a presentation in front of the school, people know a bit more about J8. And yeah, we haven't really needed to promote it much since.
A lot of people found out about J8 by seeing how all the fundraisers you're doing. What personally do you think your favourite fundraiser was?
I haven't done that many. I did the Pedal for Scotland one, which was not my favourite. I think I prefer the ones where we buy things from the community over there and sell it over here. So, for example, just happen to have the marula oil that comes from Botswana. So that is oil that the pupils there have actually produced. They've actually crushed the marula nuts. They've picked the marula nuts and they've crushed them, and then they send them over here, and then our group of kids sell it, and the profit they make goes to sponsor a child at school. So that involves both the pupils there and the pupils here. So I like that sort of fundraising better, I think. So that one works. And we've done the same with cashew nuts in India as well. So they're the best.
I only have one question left for you.
Good.
How do you see J8's future?
I think it can go in all sorts of directions depending on what the groups want it to do. I mean, we've got about 8 or 10 different links now with communities around the world. I'm sure some of them will die away and we'll probably get new ones. It would be good to have firmly established ones where we can really work long term to try and reduce the barriers to education and get more kids into school. That's what we want to do.
Okay, that's all my questions for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So Nita, how has the Global Schools project benefited your pupils?
They've got a global perspective of students across the ocean, and otherwise they were just within the limits of the Indian culture, so they got to know more of the Scottish culture. It has benefited them, and they can differentiate and maybe even link the commonalities which are there.
Okay. And how do your pupils enjoy doing the Hutchie Challenge?
We started with 5 pairs doing it. It's increasing, and now at present it was 18 pairs of students who worked on it in grade 8 and grade 9, and they've improved their communicative skills, their presentation skills, and documentation as well, and they could meet up with a lot of governmental officers, and the parents too have appreciated it.
And you have a number of sponsored pupils now. And what do they want to do with their education?
It's too early in the day to say what they want to do, but definitely they could never have dreamt of joining an English medium private school hadn't it been for the sponsorship. We started off with Raksha, who's now in class 3 or grade 3, and we have 2 more pupils in grade 1. So there's three of the pupils being sponsored by Hutchison's forward-thinking pupils. Thank you.
And what are the differences between the English medium school and other local schools in your area?
Educational wise, I would say that it's the same, but today English being a global language, communication is English is vital, and the ones who come to the English medium are at a benefit. Maybe the local language, they'll have to pick up the language at some point later on.
And how do you choose the pupils who are put forward for sponsorship? What's your selection criteria?
We make it known to the local people at first. We request them to put in their applications. Then we shortlist the applications, and my colleagues go around and visit the houses and pick up the ones who most need it financially. Maybe with Rakshas it was 2 children and a father was an auto rickshaw driver, and the other 2, one is a single parent and the other one is just a priest with very low income. So income comes first, and secondary is their IQ level. A few basic questions are put forward by my teachers and they answer the questions, and based on that we shortlist them.
Thank you. And what do you personally think as head teacher is the greatest barrier to education?
Definitely no. I would say we need more proactivity, student-friendly projects like the Nitte Hachi Challenge, because just within the 4 walls of the classroom and the textbook material is not sufficient today. They have to go beyond their textbooks.
What about barriers to education, so things that stop people getting?
Barriers to education is, this year I strictly said no time off school. It should be less of that, but still there's about 3-4 times that they've asked for time off. We've permitted them. Most of it was done during the vacation, so it's not a great barrier. In fact, it is an advantage because they go around to every class and brief the students about the project they do, send questionnaires out, collect the information, collate it. So they do a lot of things which is beneficial in the long run. Maybe not immediately, but we'll see the benefits a few years down the line.